adjust back to its original resting position, and then it would break again. My kid brain thought of this. It's a loose wire. A 10 or 11-year-old diagnosed a problem before it was even known. And I remember because if you go back to, I think it was Pokemon Blue or Pokemon Yellow, one of the sessions I was talking about a cousin that originally got me angry about a Pokemon trade because he wanted the Pokemon back after he saw me train it for so long. This same cousin has a family friend that fixes electronics, like DS's. So, my mother asked his mother specifically to ask if he can fix my DS, because I already diagnosed that it's a loose wire. Mine's pretty easy to do. And then my cousin's DS broke for some odd reason, doesn't really matter. So I get told much later on, back when DSIs are the new big thing, and I got a DSi XL, and I'm like, you know what? Where's my DS? Where's my DS? And my mother goes, oh yeah, about that. Apparently, you were right. It was a loose wire. Okay, so that's an easy fix. Unloosen it. Tighten it up. Where's my DS? I'm confused at this point because I should have it right now. She goes, yeah, apparently instead of giving you back your DS because you already properly diagnosed it, he fixed your cousin's with using parts from your DS. And I went, what? And she goes, yeah, don't worry about it. You got a DS now. You got a DSi. Yeah, but I want my DS as well. I've been waiting for that DS for, I think, about a few months at that moment. So I thought, oh, maybe the parts or whatever, or something like to help tighten it down or whatever, are taking a really long time kind of thing to get in. No, this douchebag decides to take my perfectly fine DS, just need to tighten whatever wires you need to do or trying to get it to kind of work, and gives it to my cousin. Apparently he totaled his. So you're gonna rob me, but okay, well, whatever. So the next time I go to my cousin, I have my DSi or whatever, and he has a DS Lite that looks kind of funky. I actually have it here. I stole it back because a lot of the parts that are in that one are mine, so I took it back. But anyway, enough about that. He stole my DS, I stole it back. Retribution, there you go. Anyway, that one is very, very odd. It's a black DS, but if you flip it over, it's got some white decal, like the white trimming on it. First of all, if you're new to DS Lites, allow me to explain this. DS Lites don't come in that. From what I remember, DS Lites come in white or black. There's no in between. It's white or black. And then there's maybe some promotional things, but that's not what I'm talking about here. For the basic colors, you got black or white. You never got like turquoise or blue or like the same thing with the 3DSs and stuff like that. Unless I'm misremembering, but those are the only two colors that I've actually saw. Was white and black. Shades, whatever, doesn't matter. Those are the two ones that you mostly saw on the kid playground, pretty much. So, when I saw that my cousin had this, I got really confused and I went, that's an interesting DS. And then it clicked. That's the DS that he got fixed. And that's the one that's using my parts. But you want to know something? This was before that whole trade situation, I think. This probably was before that whole trade situation, or after, something like that. I don't remember. to be fair, when the trade situation and this DS thing fiasco happened perfectly, but it happened at some point. Anyway, in pretty much the most like easiest to explain kind of moments is that I was never told, and this is funny, they never told me that DS ever did it. My mother found out from someone. Not even from my cousin's mother or father or whatever. Found out from some mysterious third party kind of thing. Seriously? Whatever. So, pretty much, I was angry. I took back the DS. I hid it somewhere in my backpack or something like that. They never looked in it. They never looked in my backpack. And I got back home. I was waiting for a call or something from them saying, hey, does he have his DS? Never got one. So it's almost like so it's either one of two scenarios. Either they knew I took it and they were pissed off, but they weren't pissed off enough to try and press charges because my mother knew that DS was mine anyway. Or she didn't actually have evidence of it, but it's like you can clearly tell that it was that. Or B, they never looked for it. They probably thought he misplaced it and they would end up finding it somewhere. I have it. So, it's fine. It's happened. Who really cares? I took back my property. Because apparently what was said was that all of the exterior, for the most part, was... Because apparently he totaled his DS. It wasn't working, everything was in pieces or something like that. Like, it was absolutely, like, garbage, pretty much. You might as well throw the thing out at that moment. Like, it was that bad. But apparently he got his fixed, and I didn't get mine fixed. How is that possible? I heard yours was totaled, and mine wasn't. Mine had a loose wire. And I was pissed when I heard that too. I was a kid. I was angry. My cousin pretty much had my DS. His DS was in non-working order. Mine was. My DS was in full working order. His wasn't. The only problem with mine was that I kept feeling awkward about twisting it enough. Because I kept thinking I was going to snap it in half. Because I had to put at least a little bit of force on it, and I felt, I'm going to break it at some point. A lot of bad things happened with that cousin, and I got really pissed. But yeah. And then when I got the DS back, I was able to do Pokemon Black and White trades, because I was able to play it on the DS, and the DS Lite, the DSi XL, and the DS. It's really awesome. Okay, so back to the Game Boy part, because I said there was actually an interesting story about that. Oh, Arcmus again, nice. I don't really care. Man, I'm gonna challenge the Pokemon League. Yeah, I've collected all the badges. You're gonna use me as a warm-up? Well, if losing's a warm-up, good warm-up, man. So back when Diamond and Pearl, quite literally, were the brand spanking new games. I think, because they were out in that November, and I got it in December on Christmas, because that's when I got it, which was really, really nice. I got Pokemon Diamond as my first. So literally, when we're actually going to be recording the new Diamond and Pearl games, I'm going to be getting Diamond as more of a kind of a symbolic thing that, you know, it was the first DS game I got. It's going to be the first Nintendo Switch Gen 8 remake game that I'm going to get. If I can get both at the same time, I'm going to try and get both at the same time, but I don't think I have the luxury of getting both again, like I did with Sword and Shield, but Anyway, enough about that, pretty much. So pretty much, I was able to... I was able to get Pokemon Diamond, but I didn't have a DS to play. And I heard from the grapevine that you only needed to use a DS, but that it may work on the Game Boy Advance SP, as it is a special version of the Game Boy, so it's said to have a functionality to play the game. This was a false rumor, but you know what? It gave me hope as a kid. I thought that I could play it. I had a Game Boy SP. That's literally what the last 3 Game Boys that I had was, pretty much. And that's the one that I currently have. I remember inspecting that thing, looking at every little nook and cranny on that device, specifically to find out, can I actually play Pokemon Diamond on it? I can't. And I felt so defeated that I found out so late that I cannot use it. So I got so sad that I ended up going, you know what, I'm done with this, and I quit. And I quit looking for a port or whatever. I felt so defeated that I'm just like, you know what, I'm done. I'm not looking for it anymore. I'm just gonna stick with what I'm doing and end it off like that. That's how I was. I felt literally so defeated, and I felt so bad, and I'm like, I wasted hours of my life trying to look for it. I didn't take screws out, though. I was looking at every exterior thing, and I'm like, maybe there's a hidden slot or something like that in the Game Boy cartridge for the Game Boy games. And I'm like, I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. Man, I don't want to risk it for that. So yeah, so eventually I gave up on looking for it. It's not that really, like, interesting too much, but I thought it was really funny. I looked for everything and I couldn't play it. The only time I could play it was when I visited my father's house, because my father and mother were gone. Or not gone, but they were separated, kind of thing. The only time was when I went to his house, because he had a DS. But yet I couldn't really do much in there, because I could only play it for about apparently 2 or 3 hours. So, not much progress was being done. And then eventually I did get myself a DS. And by myself, I mean, like, I got it for my birthday. So I didn't really have to only play it for 2-3 hours a day. I could, when I was over there, I could actually play it for longer now. But that didn't last long, to be honest. I think as soon as I got Oblivion, I was on the PlayStation 3 more often than on the DS. I think when I was at my father's, because that's when I got the PlayStation, and that's literally when I was playing a lot of Oblivion, because that was one of the few gifts that I got for that. Yeah, something to mention before we actually end up continuing onward with this. Actually, technically there is no story, because I think I've already finished it for the most part. Yeah. I have every save that I've ever had. I tried to get all my Game Boy Advance ones. I think I talked about this during the Crown Tundra of the reason why I want a homebrew Switch specifically. But allow me to explain even further. So on my drive that I've literally named Grimoire, it was originally called Archives, but I changed it to Grimoire, because Archives is actually meant to be the external storage of everything that I've ever had, especially for saves and pre-installed games and all that stuff kind of thing. But for the most part, yeah, that's exactly what it has. Is it has all of my console saves. It has all of the 360 saves, all the Xbox 360 saves. Now, it would technically have my PlayStation 3 saves. However, before before I even thought of it as a child to kind of keep the drive or whatever for archival purposes kind of thing, the PlayStation 3 broke at my father's, and my father decided that there is no point in trying to find out how to fix the dang thing, and just decided, you know what, let's just throw it out and buy a new one. So that's exactly what he did. So I lost a lot of saves. I think I lost all of my Oblivion ones. This was before Skyrim, I think, so I don't think I played Skyrim in the PlayStation. I lost one of my favorite games. I'm not going to reveal it because if I ever actually am able to record any PlayStation 3 games, that's the first game I'm recording, because I really love that game and I really want to finish it. I only ever finished the first game, and there is a second game, and I want to play that one. So that's why I really want to do that one.